Welcome in to the Arkansas Sports Network's Hometown Sports Football Preview, proudly presented by Arkansas Tech University, D3 Auto Sales, and by Metcalf Trucking Company. Today we sit down with the head coach of the Genoa Central Dragons, Lance Castleman.
Hello everyone and welcome into the Hometown Sports Arkansas Football Preseason Preview presented to you by the Arkansas Sports Network. Alex Gallion. Joined alongside me is the brand new football coach of the Genoa Central Dragons, Coach LeGrand.
How you doing?
Man, I did not know that this is what you said. I know you said that right before the camera went on that you were here for in the mornings for about 2 weeks for morning practice. But This is kind of technically really your first week as the head coach.
Just starting first week here.
Yeah. I wanted to, when we start off with this, obviously we really can't even talk about last season because, you weren't coaching last season. I want to talk about the transition. What school did you coach from before and what made you decide to come back to the school?
Well, the last 3 years I've been in Texarkana, Arkansas.
Okay.
As the middle school coordinator and head football coach, head track coach at the middle school. I had spent 2 years here prior to that. Before going over to Texarkana, I was helping out an old friend of mine there, was coaching there, kind of fulfilling some responsibilities I thought I owed him. Mm-hmm. Had an opportunity to go over there, did what I needed to do, but I've always had in the back of my mind knowing I wanted to come back here. We got great kids here, great administration, great community support for what we do. It doesn't matter what we're doing here in Genoa. The community is going to be behind you, and I knew that was something I wanted to be back into and be a part of because it's a really good family atmosphere among the students and the staff, mm-hmm. but also among the community. To be a part of that and get the opportunity to come back is just it was something I couldn't pass up.
I want to talk about kind of the players that you've seen so far. You've only had a handful of weeks to really kind of meet these players that you're going to be coaching this upcoming season. What is your first impressions on these guys?
Well, some of the guys I actually knew when I was here before. They were 7th and 8th graders before. Now they're juniors and seniors. Anthony Forte is a kid that I know could remember back in 8th grade. Thought when you get to be in high school, you're going to be a really good player. And he is a defensive line / fullback type guy. Both sides of the ball. All of our kids will be playing on both sides of the ball. Trying to get our numbers up so we'll be competitive in the 4A conference. Mm-hmm. But Anthony Forte is going to be a good player for us. He's a great leader already out here. I can tell in the mornings. Our quarterback is a junior to be Riley Harris. He too is when I remember when he was a 7th grader. Thank God he's grown some since then. But he's going to be a good one to watch. He's a good leader. He takes control out here already in the mornings. Jackson Mull, there's quite a few kids that I remember from there. And they work well together, and they pull on each other, make each other better.
How do they feel about you?
Well, that's yet to be seen. Like I said, I've been here. This is my first really official week back on the job. They seem to be enjoying the fact that I was coming back. They were excited. I have heard of a few guys. I haven't seen them yet, but a few guys have said they're coming back out now that they realize that I've made the transition and I'm back over here. Mm-hmm. So I'm looking forward to seeing those guys and getting them out here.
I guess I want to go ahead and talk about some of your assistants. Obviously you being the head coach now of this school, a lot of the attention, positive or negative, good or bad, is going to go straight on. It's going to fall all on your shoulders. I want the assistant coaches, the guys that help you on and off the field.
Well, I've got a guy that I had worked with in Texas. I retired out of Texas after 25 years.
Oh, wow.
He is also retired out of Texas, Drew Norwood.
Okay.
He has some family ties here in Genoa, has come back. He actually started here a couple of years ago, and he's going to be our defensive coordinator and also work with our receivers. I have a young coach named Trey Thomas from Spring Hill, Louisiana. He's coming over. He's going to work with the offensive line and defensive line. Another younger coach that I'm really excited to get to work with because his dad and I were together for 20 years in Texas. He actually played for me. And Matt Schrader, he's coached at Falk. He's coached on the Texas side of town, and he's, I think, finally found his groove here at Genoa.
Let's go ahead and talk about, I guess, the offensive scheme that you guys plan on running this year. Are you bringing the offensive scheme that you ran from your previous school to this school?
Yes, I'm going to run what I'm comfortable with.
Yes.
I'm going to adapt it to fit the kids. We're going to be a multiple offense, and we're going to adapt to what we have here. But it's a lot of misdirection to kind of help us out. We may not be the fastest kids in the United States, but we're committed.
Yeah, and you guys are going to play your hardest.
Yes, they are. They're going to play their hardest. We're going to get the best out of them. And that's what I've noticed here in the mornings, even before dead week when I get an opportunity to come up here for a few days and watch the guys work out and just kind of see how things were being done. They approach a workout in the morning of the summer just like you would during practice during the season. They're 100% committed.
I was going to ask you, I mean, how committed are these guys really?
Yeah, they're committed because they're excited. They're coming off 2 years of 8-man football.
Okay.
They chose here at Genoa to go to 8-man for the last 2 years, which was what was best for the school at the time.
Yes.
But we've made the decision. You know what? We're going to play football. We're going to do it. We're going to do it with 11 men, and we're going to play 11-man ball. We're back into a 4A conference, which is going to be tough.
Yeah.
We're going to experience some growing pains, and the kids know that we're going to experience some growing pains. But here's the deal. They also know they're going to finish. Mm-hmm. They're going to go it from start to finish. They're going to give it their all. And we've talked about, how when you're doing something new, when you're changing, it's like giving birth. There's going to be some pain involved, but the rewards are going to be great.
Mm-hmm. I want to talk about the defensive side of the ball.
Defensive side of the ball, we'll run a multiple front too. We're having to adjust coverages because 8-man is different from 11-man.
Yes, it is.
So the kids, we went out this morning, kind of walked through some defensive stuff after we got through with the weight training, and kind of started introducing the new terminology that we're going to be using.
Yes. I'm curious, how do you think not only just the players, but I mean really just the school in general is transitioning from 8-man football to 11-man, and you guys are in Class 4A.
Yes.
That's a huge jump for
you guys. That's a big jump from 8-man to 4A football. Yeah. They're excited. Mm-hmm. Everybody I've talked to seems really excited that we're back to 11-man. We're back in the groove. They did what they did to kind of lay the foundation, to kind of build it back up. The numbers started to come back up. Mm-hmm. So that's a big deal. We want to make sure we can keep our numbers up where they belong. We're going to try to increase and grow it.
Of course.
But the kids and the community members that I've talked to all seem excited that, hey, we're back to 11-man football.
Let's talk about the upcoming schedule. I want to talk about the preseason scrimmage that you guys will, if you guys plan on doing that. I know some schools aren't doing that. And we'll talk about non-conference, and then we'll talk about conference. Let's talk about that preseason, Daniel.
All right. Well, preseason scrimmage we're probably not going to do because I got such a late start coming.
Yes, that's understandable.
Yeah, due to other factors, and by the time I got here and we got everything situated like it was supposed to be, I just don't want to put the kids out there in a situation where the first experience they had back in 11-man is going to be something bad.
Are you going to have them play against each other?
We may do we're talking about maybe the coaches and I right now are kind of deciding if we want to do a green-white, and if we do, how far before we get started. So,
how's that non-conference going to look for you guys?
Non-conference is going to be a tough stretch. We're going to open up with Spring Hill. And then from Spring Hill, which will be very important for a game for us. That's our first game coming. But it's also Spring Hill's first game coming back from 8.
That's very true as well.
From 8-man football also. And I've been told Coach Smith, I haven't not met him personally, but I've been told he's going to have a well-coached and well-disciplined team. So it ought to be a good matchup. From there, we have an open week the next week. And then from there, we go to Falk will come over here, which is our rival, Battle of the Bridge. And it'll be the first time we've started that back up for the last 2 years. So that's probably going to be a pack. I doubt you're going to find a parking place around here. So that's going to be a great game. I don't have to say anything to the kids because they're always going to be up for it. Just as Coach Littleton's not going to have to say anything to his kids. They're going to be up for it. And that's going to be it. And then the week after that, we got Murfreesboro. So we did not choose teams that were going to just be cakewalks or something to ease back into 11-man football. We decided, we're going to go into 4A, and then we might as well start with a pretty decent schedule in the non-conference.
And Murfreesboro is coming off, they have 8 returning seniors.
8 returning seniors. Falk has a bunch of returning seniors. Yes. Like I said, Spring Hill's coming off the 8-man championship game. So we've got our work cut out for us.
What's the conference going to look like for you guys this year?
We are going to open up conference at Malvern. So I really would like to have opened up here at the house, at our friendly confines here at Dragon Stadium.
Of course.
But we're going to open up at Malvern. The conference looks steady this year. I tried to look ahead. I'm not as familiar with the 4A conference right now. We were 3A the last time that I was here.
Yeah.
So I've kind of been looking ahead to these guys to kind of see what they run, what to expect. I know having coached on the Arkansas side, I have played Arkadelphia and I've played Malvern and we've played Ashdown, which are all in our conference now.
Yes.
And I know it's going to be a big step up for Genoa.
And Ashdown, they're looking pretty promising this year.
Yeah, they've got a new coach over there. He's getting things turned around, getting his stamp put on things. Just coming from Hope. And Coach Turner at Hope does a great job over there. So,
and they've got a quarterback apparently who's got a really, really good arm.
Yeah, Ashdown's going to be formidable opponent. They've got some really good athletes over there.
Is there anyone else in conference?
Yeah, we've got Fountain Lake, which is also coming off of 8-man football.
Oh, wow.
So we've got a few teams that we'll match up, a little more evenly with. Bauxite will be in the conference. Nashville will be our last game.
They just got
Arkadelphia.
Yes.
So that's our conference schedule.
A lot of new coaches in this.
A lot of new coaches. It's tough, after COVID and getting kids back out, getting kids excited, and trying to shake off the cobwebs from those 1 or 2 years of, indecisiveness. Has been a job, and it's weighed on a lot of coaches, and that's when we see a lot of movement from place to place.
This might be a little too early to ask you, but we've asked every single coach this. This season will be successful for the Genoa Central Dragons if
it'll be successful if at the end of the season we can look back on everything, regardless of scoreboard, regardless of wins and losses. We just look back on the season, and we know we've laid everything we had out on that field. And we're better young men at the end of the season and able to make harder, tougher decisions at the end of the season than we were when we started.
This has been Coach LeGrand, the brand new head coach of the Genoa Central Dragons. Don't forget you can check out all of the hometown football preseason interviews all live here on the Arkansas Sports Network on YouTube and Facebook. And don't forget to like us on Instagram at ARSportsNet. I'm Alex Gallion, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks again for joining us on the Arkansas Sports Network's Hometown Sports Football Preview. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Arkansas Sports Network on YouTube to catch more previews and all the latest updates on your favorite teams.